All right, I think we can get started. Just to let everybody know, anybody who joins late anyway, this is going to be up on our YouTube channel at the end. So anybody who's worried they missed anything, no worries at all. So to get started today in our Nexford Virtual Tour, I just want to introduce myself first of all. My name is Mai. I'm an advisor here at Nexford University. I've been with Nexford for about 2 years now. It's been an exciting journey. During that time, I've spoken with so many learners, and aspiring learners as well, all across so many channels in our social media. And so a lot of the questions we receive is that always they want to know, how will I learn at Nexford? So I think today is a great chance to really show them how it's going to look like, what the Nexford learning experience is like. And that's by, of course, jumping into the actual learning environment that we have at Nexford. Having said that, today I'm excited to say that we also have on board with us in the call Dr. Bill Reed. He is one of our faculty members, a professor at Nexford. We also have two learners, and that is Todd Miller from the UK, and we also have Toyin Ogadengbe from Nigeria. I'd love for you guys to introduce yourselves.
Who are we starting with?
We can start with Dr. Bill. We can't hear you.
And there was a good reason for that too. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Welcome. I'm glad you're joining us, and I'm very happy to be here with you. I'll spend a few minutes later on talking about the course room, but welcome to this tour. And if, of course, we'll be around at the end to answer any questions you may have.
All right, thanks, Dr. Bill. Todd, I'd love for you to introduce yourself as well as maybe tell everybody what program you're studying at Nexford.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everybody. Future possible learners. My name is Todd. I'm from the UK, but currently located in Rwanda. I'm on the MBA at Nexford, hopefully finishing today. So I joined last July, and I'm ready to submit my final piece today. So I'm in a good mood.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Hi, everyone. My name is Toyi. I'm from Nigeria, but I currently reside in the US. I'm an MBA learner. I have about 3 courses left. And I'm a mom of 2 wonderful toddlers, and I run my own business. So it's nice to meet you all.
Thanks, Toyin. Thanks, everyone. So with that, I believe we can get started. So first of all, what you see in front of you right here, this is the Nexford learning environment. For short, Nextly. So if you hear me saying that term throughout the call, just know that that stands for Nexford learning environment. Anybody who's studying at Nexford knows that they're going to be very familiar with this page. It's going to be their new best friend. You'll be logging into this, any time of the day, any time of the week. And I say that because it's important to know that at Nexford, there are no fixed class times. This is one of the questions we receive a lot as well. And just to let you know that you can literally sign in any time of the day, any time of the week to study. Right in front of you here, this is the homepage, of course, of the Nexford learning environment. You'll find in front of you all of the courses that you are enrolled in at the moment at Nexford. We also get asked, can you enroll in more than one course at the same time? That's the great thing at Nexford, is that a way to also complete your program faster or slower, it really depends on your pace. So you can study, you can enroll in as many courses as you like, up to 3 or 4 courses at the same time. So this is why I have these many courses right in front of you. Of course, I'm not an expert learner. You can see that this is a demo account with the name right up here, demo learner. Normally, this would be your first and last name as you sign into the learning portal. On the left side here, we've got the navigation pane with a couple of resources that I'm excited to get into later on in the call. And over here on the right side, we have a calendar and more tools. Let's just show you the calendar first. So the calendar is as interactive as any calendar you might have used also throughout your life. So that means that you can add any event in this way. And this is just to give you reminders. You don't miss out on any deadlines for your assessments or your assignments or any of the courses. You can make it repeat, of course, and add as many details as you like. They would also be color-coded, so you can add or remove them as you please. And the exciting bit also is that you can actually download this calendar onto your phone or perhaps your Microsoft Outlook calendar just by using this URL here. That way, of course, you would receive notifications on your phone so that you don't miss out on any deadlines for courses or something like that. You'll find a to-do list here as well, just so you're on track with what you need to do for your courses. And over here, you'll find these are all the learners from around the world, and we're talking about over 75 countries around the world that are currently online. So anytime you sign on to the Nexford Learning Environment or Nextly, you'll find here, they could be professors, they could be success advisors, and they could be also fellow learners. You have the chance to check their profile. Some of them might, write some details about what they're studying or a little bit about themselves. You'll also find that some of them have put their social media links as well. This is a great way for you to learn more about them. You can connect with them definitely, and you can even send them a message or chat with them too. That is only one of the many ways you can get to connect with the global community at Nexford. I'd love to tell you more about it, as we go along the call. Over here, we have this announcement section. What it is that at Nexford, you have, of course, a whole team of professors and faculty. You will find that they sometimes will announce certain drop-in sessions or events or updates that is public for all Nexford learners. And this is just so you don't miss out on any important events. I will explain the drop-in sessions a little better as we go along as well. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about in the homepage here is this Ask NXU tool. So we're really excited about this one. Basically, if you have any kind of question at Nexford and at the moment you don't feel like you really need to reach out to your success advisor or a fellow learner, perhaps it's quite a basic question, you can simply type it out here. Let's say you want to learn more about the orientation. You can just search for it, and this way it'll teach you where to find the orientation, and it even has screenshots to make it much more easier for you. All right, with that, I think it's about time we jump into the NXU Orientation. You can consider this the first course that you would start as soon as you join Nexford. As soon as you're enrolled, 5 days before your program start date, you would receive access to the NXU Orientation. And just before we jump into that, the reason that you have all these courses here as well is that even if you complete a course at Nexford, it'll only be moved to the completed section here. This means that if you're ever worried that you need to go back to an older course and get a sort of refreshment on what you studied there, you can always do that in the completed section. So everything you study will always be right here. You can access it anytime. All right, let's go into the NXU orientation. You'll see here there are 3 modules, but just to let you know, every Nexford course actually includes 6 modules. So as this is only an orientation, of course, it is much shorter. All right, let's get started. So the orientation really gives you everything that you need to know before you start your program at Nexford. You'll get used to the, of course, Nexford learning environment. You'll know how to reach out to our team, our professors, your success advisor, and everything. And you'll get a very good outline of your course as well. Here's a little, of course, welcome and to let you know everything. As we move forward, you'll find, as soon as you start, you'll find actually a video from our CEO, Fadl. I'd like to play this video for all of you for a bit.
It's been said that the future is a convenient place for dreams, so why not dream big? I've always known education changes lives, but but I first realized its impact over a decade ago. On my
All right, so just to let you know, this kind of video was only like a small example of all the different types of interactive elements you'll be finding throughout your course. So we have videos, we have audio, we have blog posts, discussion forums, live engagements, and everything. So we're always making sure that there's something to keep you engaged. And as soon as you see this video, you'll find right away in the orientation that you can actually contact, email the CEO directly. So you can email Fadil directly. And this is proof of how transparent we are at Nexford, how we really are the Nexford family, as we call ourselves, or NXU family. You can reach out to any of our team at any point, and that includes also the CEO. So if you have any questions and any concerns, you'll find that our team are always ready to help. And we'll have like a little overview of the things you need to know before you jump into your course. It'll tell you a bit about all of the programs we offer at Nexford, as well as the specializations, and of course, a syllabus as well. As soon as you're done with the orientation, we're going to be asking you actually to post in our discussion forum. And this will be a requirement during the orientation. This is a way to just introduce yourself to all of our community. Some people will write a little, some will write a lot, as you can see. You can even put your social media profile. That way you can connect definitely with all of our learners as well. You can even comment on the discussion forum, as you can see. Okay, and so that is the NXU orientation. What I'd like to go to next is the Leadership and Organizational Development course at Nexford. So this is one of the early courses you're going to be taking during your MBA program, for example. And if at any point you are enrolled in a new program and you don't know who your professor is going to be, you'll always find it in the welcome section over here. Of course, you'll have some quick links, but the important part is if you go a bit to the bottom, you will be able to know who your professor is for this specific course. So actually for this course, it's Dr. Bill Reed. And having said that, I would love for him to tell us a bit about this course.
I would be happy to, thank you. One of the things that makes Nexford stand out is the ease and the ability of operating through the learning system. Now you'll see in this course, May, do I have the access to that yet?
Yes, you should have the access already.
Okay, it's just not moving that slow. I see it, okay. Okay, one of the, sorry about that, but it's,
No worries.
there we go, okay, thank you. There we go, thank you. Just let me make one little switch here. And then we can link into this. So you'll see on the left, as May mentioned, that we have all these columns and assignments and grades. This is really an easy thing to navigate. It's not anywhere as near as complicated. The first place to look would be in the assignments. You see the complete list of all the assignments for this course. It's a comprehensive list. It looks long, but keep in mind that you will see many of these are optional and they work in unison with each other in an orderly way. So you are certainly invited to do all the optional ones. They're not graded. You see here the start date of this particular demo was March 1st, and the assignment due dates are all listed. These can be on your calendar as well. So as you go through this, there are about 6 modules in each course. This particular module, the first graded one, will appear as this module 3 and a milestone. Course introductions. Everyone's invited to say a little bit about yourself. You will see a little history of me in there about what I've done and where I've been, just to get to know you and to become familiar. Everyone is invited to do that. And again, as May had mentioned, you can submit this as you would on your schedule, but purposely by the due dates that are listed. Let's just take a look at one of these. I don't think there's anything in course introductions right now, but the module 1 discussion is just that. This is the area where we just talk. It's the equivalent of talking in a classroom. The piece of it is set up so that you can post and we answer. We go back and forth in a dialogue, nothing formal, just conversation about the topic at hand. The instructions are here on how to do that. Posting is very easy. You can go here to see the discussion. It goes back and forth. They post in order so you can find out who's saying what. It's a good way to talk about the topics and a good way to become familiar with the topic as it's listed in the options. We go through all of these, and I do want to point one out that I consider important, and that's this last one, the exit survey. Some of the points in these courses that you will see when you start, and some of the ways to easily navigate these courses have been the result of suggestions by other students who have taken this course before you. So the exit survey gives you the opportunity to say, hey, you could do this better, or why don't you do it this way when you're presenting this to the students? So people who have taken this course last month, last year, have helped make this easy for you today. So we do ask you to keep that in mind when you complete your course. These are in order. We recommend you take them in order because they are sequential in nature. And the pieces of this work that way. You'll see optional pieces throughout this, and you will see how to submit them. For example, here's the final project. You click on it, you see the instructions, the slides on how to do it, description of the current situation, usually examples, what we're looking for in the answers, and also what would be acceptable. And on the bottom here, you will see the detail. This one happens to be about change plans and so on, and we work through that. I would like to also show you how, let me just get back up here, how you will see the grades and so on come easily. Learning links, the library is an important feature that you could use in the class to help support your answers. You'll see the jumping into the groups and so on, and all the help that's available. We have writing help, content help, the library, and of course your faculty member. For example, I like to be available. We have a lot of sessions. I conduct what I call one-on-ones. Sometimes it's easier. We also have the live sessions that was mentioned that are conducted throughout the course term. But sometimes you just get stuck on a question. Well, we have a way to do that. And you can see it in here where you can request a one-on-one session with your faculty member. I particularly enjoy them. I do many of them every week. So it's not a strange thing to do. You're not intruding. You can actually do this and you will enjoy it immensely, I think. And it's a time where we can discuss things. For example, I have a couple scheduled today with the students that I'm currently working with. And we go over things. Particularly one of the pieces that's important is when you start at Nexford, you might be a little uncomfortable with the learning system, how we do it. You and every other person who's ever started learning something online goes through that. So we try to make it as available as possible to you to ask questions. How do I start? I can't figure out how to post this. Where does my assignment go? How do I write it? Where does it go? We as faculty have requirements to answer your responses, and we do quickly. And 99% of the time, you'll have an answer very quickly, depending on what's going on in the course rooms. Very much of this and very much of your success will depend on the way we present it and your engagement. It's important that you participate in the materials. I know as adult learners, it's challenging to try to maintain a schedule. Even setting up the live sessions we hold, I know everyone can't possibly make them because some people are on different continents and we work around the globe. So for that reason, I, for one, highly recommend the one-on-one sessions where we can sit down for 20 minutes and go over something, go over whatever you think you may need to see. So the availability is there for you. The support is immense. As Mai had mentioned, we have the success button that you can see. And then let me get back to the course room here. and the button on the bottom you see with a little yellow button, you can always contact it. If it regards the course room, the content, the learning experience in the course room, that would be the faculty. If you have a question about access, about paperwork, about registrations, that you can contact the success team for. And also, if there's a need for tech support, if something comes up and you're having a problem with your computer in logging in or at that, we have the tech support available to you through the success. But you will see that the resources, let me click this button, see what's listed here. We have this very, very supportive structure where if you need help, we probably have an answer for you right here. If not, we have the people at the success team and your faculty member to answer your questions. You will find in general that we have very highly experienced subject matter experts in these courses. Many of the faculty that I've met are very experienced people, not just in the material, but in the delivery of the material in the online environment. Some of you may never have used a computer for something more important than booking an airline ticket or getting a recipe. This is a little different. And for that reason, we have a very refined system of delivering that information. I think after a very short period of time, maybe a week, you will feel very comfortable navigating throughout the course and understanding the materials we have available to you. You will also see here, as was mentioned, the learning modules, the syllabus. This is your guiding map of what's going on in this course. It runs through the entire course. This particular part lists the expected outcomes, the competencies. This is what you should know when you exit the course. There'll be usually 6 to 8 or so competencies. You can read a few of them there, what we're looking for. For example, this one, have a communication plan to support an organizational system change. Change is a word we all live with now in the business world. We want to show you how to do that. You may know some of these already. Adult learners bring a lot of talent to the course room, and we respect that. Some things you know we'll go faster through. Some things may be new to you, we spend a little more time with. So we go through this entire process in each course. We move down here about evaluations. That's our grading structure. The scales are on the left, very typical. And the grading weights are on the right side, what each part of the course is worth in your final grade. People are really grade oriented, and I try to be learning oriented. It's more important to me that you learn the material. And of course, you want to get a good grade at it. I understand that. But still, the learning is the important piece. So as you go through this course, one of the exciting parts of it is you may come across material that we offer that you say, oh, I've heard of that. I know what that is. I didn't know we had a name for it, but now we know what it's called. And a lot of the material, most of the material, and maybe our learners here can help me with this. Some of this stuff you can use tomorrow in your work or in your life. It's relevant. If I was to pick one word to describe some of the material we cover. And this runs throughout the program. It tries to be relevant to you and to your work environment in the business world and how it works. Nexford spends a lot of time to make sure that that is the case. And these are reviewed frequently. So going down further here, you'll see some information, course completion requirements, what we look for, faculty support. I mentioned about the announcement area, which is always a thing that I try to use regularly to let you know what's going on. I just recently, last week, posted a reminder. I said, hey, people, please read the feedback I give you so that you improve your writing skills as you go along, or content about leadership, for example. This is the part I spoke of a few minutes ago about engagement. I've worked with thousands of students online. And if I could make one recommendation to you, is that when you enter your first course with us and through your last course, maintain as much activity in the course as you can on as much as a regular schedule as you can. As adult learners, life happens, things come up. We get it, we understand. We've been there, I've been there. Sometimes things just happen. My goodness, in the last year or so with this horrific pandemic we've all been living through, people get distracted, family members get sick, children need attention. we can work with that. It's not the end of your program because you have something pop up in your life that's going to take you away a couple days. We're good. We can do that. One of the glorious things about this is that we can catch up, and we can work with you to do that. So a lot of the material is that I do recommend also as a key thing is to try to stay on schedule. As in anything you've probably tried to do, when you fall behind, it just simply complicates things. We can get there, but I don't want you to miss out on the learning that occurs in that time. So we work hard to do that. I think you will find most of the faculty here in this course and others work with you as much as we possibly can, because many of us have been through this. We understand things happen. We understand some parts of a course are going to be more difficult than another part of a course. We get it. We understand. So I guess my time is about up and I got a little off track here, but those are some of the things that we do cover in this in the program. You'll see some of the information here, the credits, all the details of the courses and so on. But it's really an extraordinarily easy system to use. You're going to feel a little awkward the first couple of days. It happens. That's normal. I'm sure if you remember back the first time you ever logged into your email, you were probably a little slow with that too. I was. So we have that time built in here so you can become adjusted to our methods and our mannerisms and our system. And the important thing is at the end of the day that you learn something that you can use. You'll find it in this course 6070. You'll find it in 6100. You'll find it in all the courses you take up until you come to the end, into the capstones. And that's where it all blends together. And one day throughout the course, you're going to say, hey, I'm actually learning this stuff. I'm actually coming across with something here. It happens. You will also come across those days when you're ready to just throw your computer out the window, close it, and never look at it again. You will have that. I see you smiling. You know what I'm talking about. That happens. It happens to every single person I've ever worked with in an online environment. The thing to remember when you are at that point of frustration, that's probably the moment you're about to learn something important. So take those couple more steps and figure out what's next, because that's a key learning moment in any course, this one included. I'm about, my time is up here, so I'm going to turn this back. But again, I'm around. If you have any questions at all, please let us know here or afterwards. I'm happy to help you. I look forward to seeing you in my classrooms in the future. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Dr. Bill. That's really some great advice. And on that note, I think I'd love to ask Todd a bit about your studying experience at Nexford. So when do you tend to do your Nexford studying? Do you study a little bit during the day, specific days during the week? You can tell us a bit about your studying schedule.
Yeah, thank you. So I like to try and study a little bit every day. It just fits my style. It gives me some momentum to keep going. So I have organized my time, and if you are quite unorganized, which I was at the start, Nexford and this course will help you organize your time and become more organized. So I do about an hour or 90 minutes per day, and then I have 2 off days per week, so I can do other stuff. I can have my life, I can concentrate on work stuff that comes up, or my social stuff. But it can be flexible to your learning style. So I have a colleague who is also doing the MBA, and he, because of his life, he can't do it during the week, but he's able to focus on the weekend. So it's flexible to what works for you best. For me, it's a little bit every day. For other people, it might not be. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely right, Todd. We pride ourselves for having a flexible pace at Nexford. That is really because you can log in any time of the day or any time of the week. And that is why many of our learners are already working, or perhaps they're studying somewhere else at the same time. Of course, we understand everybody has life responsibilities as well. And so you can really log in around your life and still earn your MBA or your BBA or whichever program you decide, of course, to study at Nexford. Just before we jump into the next section, I'd like to remind everybody who's joining us, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in our Q&A section so we can get to it at the end of the call. I'd like to talk next about our about assignments and assessments at Nexford. We get this question a lot as well, as how do I submit an assignment? They're very easy. Everything you need, you'll find it already online. First, I'd like to start with this self-assessment. So these are optional. You'll find them across some modules and courses at Nexford. It is optional, but it is quite useful as well. You'll find that you can submit your assignment right in here. Of course, every module or every course will specify specifically what type of file format we need you to submit, whether it's a PDF or something else. You can always just upload it here. You can save and submit for later, or just submit it now. So you always have that option. As for the assignments, we have an assignment here. I'd actually love for Dr. Bill to also explain to us a bit about it. But I went ahead, of course, I'm not an expert learner, but I went ahead and submitted the assignment. Of course, it's going to be empty when I show it to you guys. But I just wanted to give you an idea about this Turnitin software that we have here, something you'll be very familiar with as well when you're studying at Nexford. And it's quite interactive. You can fill these forms here. And as soon as you put in your answers and you submit them, you can receive feedback from our professors. So for example, these little speech bubbles here are little comments. Of course, they would be much more thorough, but if you were to put your answers, you would receive things like your professors telling you, hey, this is great, or perhaps it's a bit brief, you could have added this. So you'll receive quite helpful comments from our professors. And this is a case for change. I think it's quite an exciting one. If you can just talk about it for a minute or two, Dr. Bill, just to give them an idea about the kind of assignments they would be receiving.
Sure. Yeah, this is a good example. A case for change, as I mentioned. Change is everywhere now, and once we think we have it down, it's time to change. So this assignment draws the attention to this particular case, and it's done in a worksheet format. You'll see in the worksheet the usefulness. The questions are asked for you and put forward in a way, which it didn't show, to cover certain points. I advise people, when you're creating your answers, to be complete, to be comprehensive, and yet be brief. That's something you got to work on a little bit. You need to answer the question. And I say that, it sounds so simple, but one of the things I see so often, people will write a wonderful, wonderful response, but it's not answering the question. So we have in our courses what we call rubrics that you can refer to and see what I, as a faculty member, will be looking at in how I grade your paper. The rubrics are available for you to see, and they tell you what I'm looking for. So I suggest, as you go through your assignments, to look at the rubrics as you start the assignment and say, well, I have to cover this. I have to do it in the APA writing style, a whole separate topic we can talk about. And I need to cover this point, and this point. If you do that, you're going to greatly enhance your learning, and you're going to greatly enhance your ability for a solid, acceptable grade. We all tend to wander when we're answering things, but this particular process we have here helps you stay on track, and it guides you to the points we want you to know. The case for change, it has some options here. You say you can use the organization where you're employed, or you can use the Tesla case. 50-50 on that. People will choose their own or choose something else. The worksheet is available. You have to provide the reasoning and your rationale for your answer. Again, you don't have to write an extensive novel on each point, but you need to be able to demonstrate your understanding and knowledge of that particular point. We'll guide you with that. The feedback you get is both built in, as you were just shown with those little talking points, and there's also a narrative you'll receive in the grading, which will say, I will say, well, you did a great job on covering this point. However, keep in mind your requirements, the writing style requirements, and keep in mind that also we were talking about this point if you were a little shy. Generally, the format is important. You're in a graduate program with the master's. So you need to make it, writing is important. Many people used to call the master's degree the writing degree, and they called it that for a reason, as our two learners here can attest to. There is some writing involved. That's how you demonstrate your knowledge. We totally understand that people have different writing levels. Some people have been writing a lot and can write better than others. Some are new to it, and we have to develop that skill. Perfectly fine. We can do that. We understand it. We just want you to get to a point where, and in the business world, in the MBA world, you can present it in an appropriate, meaningful, and solid communication style. So the course, again, it requires you to be comprehensive, yet complete, and not too long. We want to bring you to that point. This is why in these worksheets, you will see points we think is important. We're asking you to address that specific point. So we don't ask you in this particular assignment to go write a huge essay. This is specific. These give you certain specific points we want you to address, and you can do that fairly easily. This is not one of the harder assignments because you're all involved in change, whether it be work, personal life, family, whatever. So you already have some understanding of change. We take it into a business perspective in either your organization or the Tesla case to do that. And I'll close with an important point. Yeah. Please read your feedback. Read what the professor tells you about your writing. It's important. And use that in your next paper to do a little better. But that's quickly how we will look at this particular assignment.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dr. Bill. Speaking of feedback, so I'd like to ask Toyin then what your experience has been with professor feedback, and as well as assignment, submission, and assessments.
Okay, just like you mentioned earlier, there's no sit-down assessment in Nexford. But for the assignment, you know that at the beginning of a course, every course starts from the 1st of the month, and you know that your first assignment is due by the 10th of the month, and then subsequently 7 days after. For the professor's feedback, I personally like to submit my assignment days earlier than the due date, because even though you score an A in the course, you still have a lot of recommendation from the professor that you want to go back to that could aid you in completing the other assignments, or that could like aid you, like boost your interest in how to apply this assignment to real life situations. So professors' feedbacks are always very helpful to me. It's something that I really want to go back to and read and build on, and you would find it interesting.
All right, thanks a lot, Toyin. And a question for Dr. Bill again. How about time zones at Nexford? Are they easy to figure out? Considering we have all around the world.
We have time zone converters where you point in your time, you put in your time, and you then enter in the zone you're in, and it'll convert it for you. Very easy to do. And I don't think any particular faculty member is going to get overly excited if you're an hour or two late. It usually isn't addressed that way. So time zones is not an issue to be overly concerned with. I use a particular time converter myself. I did it for this meeting as well, because I'm located in the United States, just south of New York City. And we list this in Greenwich Mean Time, and then actually in Zoom meetings, it converts it for you. But on your own, simple time converter, you can Google it, find anyone, use the one here. It's really not an issue until you want to do like a one-on-one, then we have to be specific. But that not a major issue, and I'm not aware of anyone who has a big problem with that.
Definitely. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'd love to also add to what Dr. Bill said earlier about having support from our team. We pride ourselves also for having 24/7 support at Nexford from our success team. So at the start of your program, you would have a personal or dedicated success advisor. And even afterwards, you can speak with the rest of the success team at any point, as well as, of course, faculty. So that is truly 24/7 support, and that can be in many ways, whether it's by email or booking sessions. And so the success scheduler that Dr. Bill was mentioning earlier, actually, you can find it in the resources here in the homepage. As soon as you open that, you'll find this booking page where you can book a one-on-one with any specific success advisor. So that can be in any day or any time of the week. You can pick a specific, your actual personal success advisor or anybody else, of course, from our team. And so that would be about 30 minutes. We also have something called a writing lab. So you'll see that here in the homepage. Don't be mistaken, it isn't a course that you enroll in at Nexford. Rather, it's a resource that's always there for you because we understand very well that not everybody's born a natural writer, and especially when we're talking about business and the kind of formatting you need for specific assignments and everything required of you within the courses, you will need to write in a specific way. And because of this, we have this writing lab. You can access at any time. You'll find a lot of tips and tricks for you that you'll find very useful. And you'll also meet our writing lab coach. Her name is Caroline. You'll find a little introduction from her here. And most importantly, you can book a one-on-one with her as well. As we spoke about announcements earlier, you'll find that Caroline is quite active in our announcement section. And these drop-in sessions are different than the one-on-ones because you get to join them with other fellow learners as well, which means that you get to meet them, you get to hear what they're saying, and it's much more, I think, you might find it much more useful as well than the one-on-one sessions. We also have a Nexford application, actually. We get this question too a lot. The thing is that with our application, it's great because you can study on the go. You can download it on your phone, but you would still need a PC or laptop to submit your assignments. What's great is also you would receive notifications, of course, by email first, but also on your phone. As soon as you get the application, you would receive notifications for all of these announcements. I'd like to also ask Todd, how have you found the success team support at Nexford?
Hi. So the success advisor is the first person that will reach out to you once you sign up to Nexford. Very useful. So as a learner, for myself and for you, you want to concentrate on learning and going through the content and then evidence your understanding through the assignments. You don't want to worry about everything else. So the success advisors will remove all the barriers to make your life much easier to learn. So whether it is when do I get access to my new course, or can I take on another course, or what are the course content topics coming up later, or I have an issue, can I postpone an assessment? Reaching out to them on whether it's through the email or through Microsoft Teams, they are very useful. They are very quick and organized and efficient. It's been I didn't know that they exist, but having one at Nexford was very useful. Yeah, and if you're a student, just as a side point, and but you don't have the internet capability to study, my internet just dropped. All power went, but I've still managed to get through my master's course.
Oh no! All right, thanks for going the extra mile on. So yeah, also just in line with the support you get at Nexford, we understand, like Dr. Bill said earlier also, that life happens. And because of this, if at any point you wish to take a break from your program, we do have something called a leave of absence, which you can request directly from our team. Depending on the program that you're studying at Nexford, this can go on for maybe 4 months or up to 8 months, of course, depending on the program. So if you were studying our MBA or our AAS, which is our Associate of Applied Science degree at Nexford, you can take up to 4 months a leave of absence. And if you're studying our bachelor's, our BBA, you can take up to 8 months. Having said that, of course, if anybody has some sort of dire situation where they need extra time, we will definitely understand that, and you can speak directly with our team and explain it to them. And we're quite flexible when it comes to dealing with certain situations that might need an exception. So we would completely understand. And what is your go-to place, Toyin, when you have questions?
Um, just like you said, the success advisors have been very helpful. They are my go-to place, and they are always very quick to provide information and solve any issues I might have. But academically, when I need questions about assignments or course, my go-to place is my professor, definitely. Or sometimes I get to discuss with other learners. We actually, some of us have a WhatsApp group where we talk. So it's something you can create within yourself, probably within people in your environment and stuff. So you can share ideas, and so you have at least someone you can talk to when you run into a roadblock.
Yeah, definitely. And have you found that interacting with learners has helped you when you had questions or felt stuck?
Yes, I interact with learners. I interact with professors. I interact with the success advisors. But for my academically, I interact with my professors more because I kind of want to like understand if I problem with a particular course, like I believe the professor has more knowledge than me. So I want to like understand what it means and everything. Though not all the time, but my professors are my go-to place to answer questions when I run into a roadblock academically.
That's amazing. I'm definitely happy to hear that. Um, okay, so just in the homepage here, I think the last bit we didn't get to talk about today, and I'm excited to get into, is LinkedIn Learning. So if you haven't heard of this already, LinkedIn Learning is a great place which you actually, once you enroll at Nexford, you would get access, unlimited access to over 16,000 LinkedIn Learning courses. So those are from courses to videos, across so many different fields and topics, and you'll actually find some LinkedIn Learning courses already embedded in some of Nexford's courses. And of course, once you complete any of these, you also get a certificate, which you can show off on your social media, which a lot of our community are often happy to do. And on top of just the extra skills that you learn with the LinkedIn Learning, you also receive these badges, and it's not for every course at Nexford, but some of our courses, you would be learning specific skills and competencies that you would be awarded a digital badge for, which you can share also, of course, with your colleagues and your, any of your followers. And of course, if anyone's wondering, okay, what does it actually entail? What does this digital badge even really mean? What's great is that if you click on it, you can find more information about what course you received this badge for, and specifically what skills you learned, because of this. And one of the requirements, of course, at Nexford for our MBA is that you already have a bachelor's degree in a business-related field. So as this is not the case for everybody, some people would have a bachelor's degree that isn't already in a business-related field. You might be required to take these business foundation courses. There are only 4 courses you might be required to take. And once you do, you actually receive a certificate for it, because that in itself is already quite an accomplishment. It gives you all the basic skills and knowledge you need in order to jump right into the core curriculum for our MBA. Additionally, we also have a Nexford network. Assuming you have a Facebook account, this is a great addition for you as well. You can just join our Nexford network. It's our unofficial Facebook group. By that, I mean it's mostly run by our learners. We also have Nexford ambassadors running it. We have over 3,000 members so far. It's a great place to connect with them from all around the world. You'll find a lot of learners just, introducing themselves, sharing the fact that they're quite excited to get started at Nexford. When you meet the rest of the community, you'll find some tips and tricks as well, some things that are just positive. And it's a great place to really network and make perhaps new friends that are also studying from around the world. Are you already joining this group? Toyin or Todd? Are you in it? Yeah, can see Toyin nodding. How about Todd?
No, I have no social media.
Oh no, you're finishing your program and you haven't had the chance to join the group. No worries. All right. And the last bit I would love to talk about today is actually, we have great news that over the coming months, we're going to be launching our career services portal. This will include a range of resources to help our learners with employment and career progression after the graduation. So as you can see, Localized is what it's called. Localized is a part of this offer. And through Localized, our learners and our alumni can have access to virtual career fairs, career coaches and mentors. And so you'll be hearing more about this extra feature in the coming period. So we're very excited to start rolling it out. I understand it's one of the most common requests we also receive. People are always wondering, okay, it's great, you know, I'll be studying online, but what'll happen right after I graduate? Will you continue to support me? And this is one of the ways that we will begin to start doing that in the coming period. So it's quite exciting. All right, I think that's about it. And now I think we can jump into our Q&A section. We can take some questions from our audience. I'd like to remind everyone, because I see some comments from people who might have joined late. Again, this webinar will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So, and if you've already also registered, you should receive a recording straight through mail. So don't worry at all. Okay. Here's a simple question. Let's start with this. Somebody's asking, Vivian is asking, when is what is next to start the MBA program? So I'm very happy that you already want to start. All you need to do is you need to first visit our website. You can start your application directly at apply.nexford.org, but I recommend you know very well first the admission requirements for our MBA program. So feel free to reach out to our team at help@nexford.org. You can also visit our website, nexford.org/admissions. So this will show you all the admission requirements for each program at Nexford. But like I said, again, you can always just reach out to our team. You can also reach out to us on WhatsApp. You'll always find a Nexford advisor ready to discuss it with you and answer any of your questions. Dr. Bill, perhaps you can take this question. Jonathan is asking if there are any moments for live lectures.
A good question. In terms of a direct, specific live lecture, we have live sessions, which are our equivalent of that. We can cover those topics in various points throughout the course. So I will say, yes, there is, but they're not live sessions for each module, if that's what you're asking. We hold sessions maybe twice a term, and we cover them in general. This is an opportunity where if you did have a specific question about a specific module, that's an excellent time to have a one-on-one session with your faculty member. So it's kind of yes and no answer to that, but I hope I addressed your point.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I see a question from Chucks. He is asking if he can, oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, it's from Oladipupo. He's asking if he can run 2 MBA programs at the same time. What I'd like you to, I'm not very sure why somebody would want to take a 2 MBA program at the same time, but I assume what you mean are the specializations that we have, because we have 5 MBA specializations. And what's great is you do have the option to take 2 specializations with your MBA. Of course, you would need to take one and then the other, but this means that you can graduate with an MBA with a double specialization. So in a sense, it is as if you took 2 MBA programs. And this would also, of course, be on your certificate that you have 2 specializations.
I would only add to that particular question is start slowly, learn the pace, learn the workload before you jump into too many things at one time, including number of courses. Find a level that works for you and keep that pace rather than trying to stretch it and maybe come up a little short.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we don't want you to be stressing yourself. You have all the time in the world. You can study at a flexible pace. So having said that, though, we have some amazing stories of learners that have finished in record-breaking time. You can read more about that on our blog, our NXU Insights, but you'll find 6 months and 5 months, which has never happened until recently at Nexford, with the average completion time for our MBA being 15 months, and for the rest, of course, our BBA is much longer. All right, let's see what other questions we can take. Yeah, we have somebody else also asking about the additional specialization. Just to let you know, like I said earlier, if you missed the answer, you can have double specializations. So you wouldn't need to take a second degree. You can simply top up on your specialization. All right. Okay, somebody's asking, Calvin, Halim is asking about deadlines. Do we have any deadlines to complete our course? I mean, if we can't complete at that time, we can get to drop out. I'd love to hear from our learners on this. Do we have deadlines? You guys have deadlines? Toyin, would you like to answer a bit about it?
Yes, we have deadlines for every course. Just like I said earlier, every course starts on the 1st of the month, and you have to submit your first assignment by the 10th of that month. Then subsequently, you submit, I think, 7 days after. So there is a deadline. If you don't submit your assignment on a particular day and the deadline passed, that's an automatic F, which we all know. This is an MBA class. It's not a joke. So if you are not able to meet up with the deadline, it's a good thing to reach out to your professor, whether you need to ask for an extended time, but we do have deadlines for assignment submissions.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, we have a question here from Clarissa. Can I just understand a bit more about the digital badge at LinkedIn? Are we able to get that while completing modules in MBA or more of LinkedIn learning courses? So digital badges are separate from the certificates that you get from LinkedIn Learning. So you would receive these badges from specific courses at Nexford, and they are completely separate from the LinkedIn Learning courses, certificates in. I see a few people asking, such as Charles and Favor, about WES verification or evaluation. So this stands for the World Evaluation Services, and I assume these questions might be coming from our fellow learners in Nigeria or otherwise. It is an evaluation service for certificates, and a lot of people need it for the fact if they are planning to immigrate perhaps to Canada or the UK. So we will have updates on this within the year, so stay tuned. But as of the moment, yeah, WES is unable to evaluate our degrees. But please reach out to our team. They will provide you with more details on this. And we also have other partnerships as well as processes with other evaluation services that can, at the meantime, also evaluate your degrees. And we are so happy to help you, of course, to immigrate after your graduation at Nexford. All right, I think we're about, yeah, that's about all the questions. The last one we have here is that somebody wants to know if, a lot of people actually want to know if they are going to get a recording of the session. So as a last reminder, you can watch this again on YouTube. It should be up on our channel within the coming days, and you should also receive a link for it in your email if you've already registered. All right, thanks everybody for joining. Thanks a lot, Dr. Bill, Toyin, and Todd. It's been great, and hopefully you guys have a great day. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great day.